Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Night Rhythm, that crazy, wacky, nutty show that involves me and this lady who's sitting right next to me, smoking a big fat one.
I am not.
We had little Nicole Yarling from Little Nicky and the Slicks on. She's a really nice lady. Going to be on the Carson show Tuesday night.
Yeah.
She won't take me with her.
Oh, well.
Anyways, shall we do this concert report?
Sure, we'll do it real fast.
Okay, this in the background, you're going to be hearing the fine tunes of a band called Loud Sugar. All right, and a song called Funky Little Flower as we read the concert report.
You're doing real good at that DJ thing.
It's the top of the pop crop that hits sounds from around your town. Pulling the triggers on the 45s on this super Saturday night. It's hot and the music's going to get even hotter. Loud Sugar here. Well, concerts coming up. We got, like we said, the last day tomorrow for the Sunfest 92. Starts at noon. Artists include Little Nicky and the Slicks, who are just here, Ricky Lee Jones, Tony Bishop, Spyro Gyro, and Ray Charles, to just name a few. If you'd like more information on the Sunfest, give them a call at 407-659-5992.
Concerts tomorrow night, Rockefellers at Bayside, showtimes at 7. The Groove Thangs with Big Mama Blue at Cheers.
Saw the Groove Thangs with, what was the name of that band?
Right, Cowboy Junkies?
No. Steve Morse.
I can't think of it. Don't start with that.
What's the name of that band? How could I forget? One of the best bands that ever lived. Steve Morse and the Dixie Dregs.
Yeah, that's it.
Monday the 4th, it's RTZ, Return to Zero, two former members of Boston at the Button. Gaudreau and the other guy.
Yeah, Brad and somebody else.
Delp and Gaudreau. Right? And then the 9th, we got Frampton. Comes Alive at Summers on the Beach, if the place is still on.
He was scheduled to play at Summers on the Beach, but the concert has been moved to Cameo Theater in Long Beach.
Here.
And the tickets bought at Summers, don't worry, they will be honored at the door.
Wow.
Well, they can't dance, but they're going to play anyway. At Joe Robbie Stadium, May 16th, Genesis. Also on the 16th, the Godfather of Soul, James Brown.
I feel good.
At Sunrise Musical Theater.
We got the Neville Brothers. They're going to be at the Cameo Theater on the 18th. And Tesla along with Firehouse May 23rd at the West Palm Beach Auditorium.
And I surely hope that you were one of those lucky ones to get tickets for Eric Clapton at the Arena May 25th. The show is sold out. Also sold out Ringo Starr and his all-star band.
Oh, and he's got Rundgren playing with him, and I'm going to miss that.
Joe Walsh, Dave Edmunds, and Tom Rundgren at Sunrise. That's June 2nd. Also sold out at Sunrise May 29th is Jerry Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, I love that show. That sucks. I don't have tickets to any of those things.
Right.
You can still get tickets to Britney Fox May 29th.
You may miss Eric Clapton, but you can go see Britney Fox.
It's not that we're laughing at her career, but she'll be at the Good Food Sports Pub.
Who do you mean, her? It's a band. Four guys, Britney Fox.
Oh, I love her. And Paula Abdul with Color Me Bad, the 30th at the Arena.
The Cure's in town June 4th, also at the Arena. Also, get ready for this one. Weird Al Yankovic at the Button South June 9th. And Spinal Tap, yes, June 14th at the Miami Night Center.
You think this could be any longer? There's
I'm
more
sorry.
stuff here. Let's just forget it. What do you say? Let's forget the rest of it. That's it. And we'll, George, fade this down. Nice, one of those nice technical digital fades for me. Thanks.
Thank you.
On the phone, we have Mr. Roby Young. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine as far as hair and twice as dangerous.
What?
That's what we used to say. How you guys sound so great.
Oh, no, don't start so early.
You sound like, no, I'm going to compliment you. You sound like you're so into the community, doing things, and you're part of the heartbeat of the community. Now that you've heard this, hello? I think you guys are great. I was watching some people in Tampa today, doing stuff on the beach. I think it's so neat that you can do this stuff over the airwaves, and you guys are great.
Well,
but
thanks.
I have
but once again,
I have to harken back to the days of radio when you guys weren't the same way, and we regarded the airwaves as being sacrosanct or special.
Yeah.
Couldn't say certain words, and certain strange things happened at WIOD. Ghosts in the hall. Strange stuff.
Milk in the batter in the night kitchen.
Absolutely.
Well, you did some pretty strange things on the air.
Well, first let's
many strange things.
Set some so the people who don't know Roby Young. Roby Young is a 30-year radio veteran.
Right. He used to be on WQAM with the Rick and Roby show. A former
that was Waxy.
Waxy. I'm sorry, Waxy.
I was on QAM when I was 13 years old.
Oh, yeah?
I auditioned on WQAM.
Roby Young. for the woman with the man in mind. On WQAM.
Does that bring back some
You're
memories?
pretty damn sharp. How did you do that? How did you get my old jingle?
Mirrors.
Mitchell.
We do it with
how
mirrors.
Did you do that?
Those are pretty
Well, don't
neat.
blame me. I had nothing to do with that. I just work here.
Well, I have some great memories about Miami radio, and good Lord, that jingle was strange. I used that in New York. But back to WIOD.
When did you start here?
I was about 18 years old in 1962 when I went to WIOD, and the song was "A Taste of Honey." And I worked at a radio station in Central Florida, and the equipment was so bad. I mean, you'd press up the NBC or something like that for the network, and you couldn't hear it, and the thing was so awful. I went to Miami and got a job for $125 a week.
Wow.
Hey, that's more than we're making.
Don't you say that. I'm serious.
No, I am too.
In that same place, that was super. And I drove onto the Mitch, and listen, when you drive onto that thing, isn't it neat? You're driving onto Broadcast Key, and you hear "A Taste of Honey" played by Herb Alpert. And I went up there, and Biggie Nevins was there, and Barbara Streisand, and all this stuff. That they would come by the studio in those early days, and I was really impressed. And I was a newsman, and then I got to be a disc jockey. Then I went to WQAM and be a, rocking and rolling disc jockey. But there's so many stories I'd love to tell you.
Well, go ahead. We got a whole hour to hear. 45 minutes. Well, 48 minutes to kill. First of all, I want to know how you got started being a punter for the Dolphins.
Oh, a kicker. No, I never did that, but...
You broadcasted, I remember I was talking to you on the phone, and you told me that you had once run WIOD from an extension cord to Channel 7?
Well, that was back... a lot of people... I can tell you about Howard Hughes saying, "Why don't we have an FM in Florida?" Yes, Mr. Hughes, the Mormon said, we have Waxy and Rick Shaw and the whole thing. And I might tell you that the next episode. But right now I'd like to go back to WIOD in 1962 and 63. And when I did run a radio station on an extension cord, we had a hurricane called Cleo. Ralph Page, who is now a reporter for, I think, one of the TV stations down there. This is going back 30 years. And so here's little Roby Young, 19 years old, and I'm sleeping on the turntables. And I think, I don't know where you are, Annamaria, where are you?
Well, we're in this, I'm not sure if it's the same building, but
North
we're right
Bay
next
Village?
to, we're not right next to Channel 7 on North Bay Village on the 79th Street Causeway.
And I would like to say to my two girlfriends in North Bay Village, Rita, hello, how are you? And also to the other one. But
Your future ex, right?
it was really a wonderful time for me, and I was just a young boy. All right, so here we go. Okay, so WIOD was owned by Channel 7 in 1963.
Uh-huh.
And so we had this hurricane that came up from the bay, and it was named Cleo, and it just tore us up and everything like this. And Channel 7's newscasters and sportscasters were over there in a local restaurant called the Bonfire, catered everything.
Oh, that's still here. That's a little
Right.
club, little piano bar club on 79th.
Yes, you remember, Mitch.
It's
You
still
remember.
here. It's still here.
And I remember when I met Claire Mosher that night. This is 30 years ago.
How about when there was the what was his name? Joe Namath's little restaurant there. It was
Absolutely.
right next door to it, wasn't it?
That was gotten rid of.
Broadway Joe's.
Absolutely, but that was gotten rid of.
Yeah. Now that's
And,
the Crab House. Or Captain
yes.
Crab's.
And so I knew all those people, and they sent over stuff to Channel 7, and the hurricane's coming through, and it's really being bad, and it's, we have 2 inches of water upstairs in WIOD where you guys are now.
Wow.
30 years ago. And so we had a situation where our generator at WIOD had a little cap on it, but it didn't have the cap that did too well. And so the wind-driven rain from Cleo in 1963 drove all this water down into the generator, and it shut WIOD down, the station we're talking over right now, my station. I love this station. I do love it. And I was the man that, well, we'll get to that in a minute. So, WIOD got shut down. Well, we didn't know for sure what to do, but an old man who was there 30 years ago, Gene Ryder, bless his soul, was the chief engineer. And he decided he would get this orange thick cord, which I'm sure you've seen,
Right.
and plugged it into Channel 7. You see, we were owned by the same company in those days.
Yeah.
Channel 7 and WCKR, which became WIOD, we're the same company. And he plugged that thing in, and I'm lying, my ass is on the turntables. I'm there. There's a 12-inch and a 16-inch, and I got up and I said, "Now, good morning, South Florida. This is WIOD, the Wonderful Isle of Dreams. We will give you, And it was all from an extension cord from Channel 7.
Well, it got things going, and you improvised.
Well, those were good old days, I'll tell you that much.
Broadcasting from the Magic City, 24 hours a day. WIOD, may we keep you company today.
So in those days, you wore a lot of hats.
Well, radio in those days is different from radio today. It's quite different. WIOD to me was nirvana. I mean, when I came down from Ocala...
It's kind of the way we look at it, too.
Well, it's a great radio station.
Definitely.
I just am so upset that you will let this man, what's his name, Rogers? Neil Rogers? Say dirty things. When I was a newsman at WIOD...
Wait a minute. Let's Roby, let's just straighten one thing out from the top.
Yes.
We have absolutely no control. I don't think anybody but Neil controls what Neil does.
Well, it's all right. I saw Saturday Night Live the other night, and they had the douchebags. They had the douchebags on, Mr. and Mrs. Douchebag.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
And that was a thing. It was a connived and written thing, and it was funny, and it was funny once. But I just, I can't understand when I was 19 and 20 years old, when I worked for WIOD, and I just don't understand. We couldn't say rape on the air. We would say assault. We couldn't say RAPE. And I went through the Candace Mossler murder with Gerstein. I can tell you some stuff about that. I went through other murders and other things. The White House took over the thing, and it was a real radio station, WIOD. And it was sacred. But no one ever got on the air and said the things that guy said. And I think he's a real... oh, Lord, I guess I can't say this, but
Well, don't.
put me on your show, but I think... I never met the guy. He said that I was gay with, what's his name, Jim Kelly. When we did WKT, the last gasp of AM radio to go on the radio.
Don't you hate that, Roby? You sleep with one guy and they call you a homosexual.
Well, it's terrible. I mean, they should have, understood that I slept with six... No.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Neil. The truth comes out.
No, I'm serious. You know what they did? I told the owner, Howard Premer, who owned WKT.
He still does.
Does he?
Yeah.
I said, Howard, give me an apartment for $800. We'll write it off as a promotional expense against the tax. Good. Jim Kelly, I don't know if he's gay or not. I never did anything with him.
At least that you remember.
What?
At least that you remember.
At least I would remember if I had. No, the guy is a super guy. He was a program director. He had no place to go. And I said to the owner of WKT, promote this $800 a month apartment. And Kelly says, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, Jim, stay here for a month. And you're, what's his name? Rogers?
Yeah.
Neil Rogers came on. He says, Jim Kelly and Roby Young are sleeping together in the WKAT executive apartment.
Now, Neil would never say something like that,
would.
Roby.
He said it. I heard it. He was raising hell with him because he said it.
Stirring it up back then, wasn't he?
So you did actually meet him face to face at KAT?
I've never met him.
No?
What's wrong with him? I was down there, and he had Tony Segreto. Who remembers Tony?
He's still here.
He's at Channel 4. He's the most
He
loved.
had Tony Segreto on the air, and they were talking about football coaches, and he said to Tony Segreto, well, Miami's a tough town, and Segreto said, yes, it's a tough town, and Neil Rogers said, yes, look at Roby Young. I don't do football. Why did he say that?
I don't know.
Why is he on WIOD? I was the guy that, I revere that
Sounds like
station.
you're getting a bit emotional, Roby.
I don't know. I guess I have to calm down now.
So how come,
I'm upset.
Well, Neil is
just
bigger
saying
than ever.
words.
Neil is bigger than ever down here. He has a huge audience, incredible numbers. He wields a load of power, and he happens to be one of the few people on the air that says it like it is.
Well,
He'll tell you.
And listen to me.
He'll tell you where the bear put it.
All right, if he has any balls at all, why doesn't he have Roby Young on with him?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he will.
It wouldn't hurt. I mean, I've been there since 19...
Well, call him up. He's got a show.
Well, I don't know.
He's on 10 to 2, Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 2, Monday through Friday.
now.
No, I mean, I don't know what the problem was that you guys had back then. That was before I was born.
Let's go past that. I've got some stories about WIOD that you guys wouldn't believe.
well, that's great.
Do you have to break for a commercial, or are you sponsored, or what?
No. Nobody buys
The show's
this.
making no money.
Nobody's listening, and they tell us we're on the air, but I still don't believe it.
Mitchell, the show is making no money.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Lord.
Well, I mean, we pay them a couple $100 a week to keep it on, but that's no big deal.
I did that at WVCG, and that's another thing that Neil Rogers did to me. He said, did you know how much I paid for WVCG in the 80s? $6,000 a week I paid WVCG to put me on the air with Doo-Wop. $6,000 a week.
Wow,
From
that's a
6
lot.
And no one knew that. The station manager, Mark Thomas, turned out to be a crack addict. I'm saying this true because he stole a Crown DC 300 from me.
Wow.
It was a terrible thing. It's owned by the Ginsburg.
Is he alive now?
I'm live here, and the
No.
Ginsburg...
Is the guy, the crack addict that stole equipment from you, still
No,
alive?
it's years ago. That's 5-6 years ago.
So
We don't know
he
where
could be
is.
dead for all we know.
He was an MBA. He got a job. I allege that. It's the truth. And you know something else? I paid $6,000 a week to get 6 a.m. to noon, and Neil Rogers didn't know that I was paying that money, and he said, just look at Roby Young, another failure, in Doo-Wop.
Oh, that's too bad.
Doo-Wop is a real good show. A lot of people from New York and Philadelphia love it. But
There's a couple of shows down here that are doo-wop shows on
Doo-wop
other
oldies
stations.
on
Who is on Magic? Who's the guy? There's a guy, Ken Held.
Ken Held, he's on KAT as well.
Do you know that Ken is a millionaire? He owns an insurance company. He's my dear friend. He drives a car.
That's funny. He has a Lamborghini, a red one. I know. I saw it.
No. It's not a Lamborghini. It's a...
A Testarossa.
It's another one. It's not
Oh.
Lamborghini. It's another one.
Ferrari.
Yes. You're right. It's a Ferrari. So Ken drives he's got tons of money. He paid for WVCG in the mid 80s.
Yeah,
And I was there, and you know what they did? They just put me on the air and said, Roby, you're wonderful. Here's $20 to get home. I swear to God, I have been so stupid. And in the beginning, you guys are chortling and laughing. Is this a good show or not?
Well, I just wonder why you're not on the air somewhere doing it up.
You're on the air in Ocala, right?
No.
No, you're
do,
still...
I'm doing audiovisual things, and I charge them $400 to go speak for half an hour. I do stuff like that, but it's not what I really want to do. I was WABC. I was WCBS. ABC did the McCartney thing. Then, because of a union problem, ABC gave me the job at CBS.
Wow.
I'm not a bad person.
So what down the years...
I started waxy.
What
Howard
down the
Hughes.
years, though? Roby, what down the years caused you to have a reputation that you do?
Because when I had a lot of money...
Because you're whacked, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm a real good guy.
No, not a bad guy, but you're a little off, man, right?
No, I'm not a little off. But when I went and I noticed
Roby, wait a minute. The first part of therapy is acknowledging that you're a little bit whacked.
Oh, no,
I know I'm whacked.
now.
I could use a good whack right now.
I went and I did the WAXY, which I started with Rick for RKO in 1975. In 1985, this really not a nice person, Greg Bedell, who had gone back from Love 94 to us to back and forth, and he had scotch and cocaine delivered to him in the damn treatment center.
Well, he had it delivered right into his skull, didn't he? I mean, they actually drove into his brain.
He's a real, pardon me, he's an asshole. Or can I use what Neil says on WRD?
No, you
he's
can
a douchebag. I did the show.
But we
for
know that.
5.
He wakes me up every morning.
Well, I'm sorry for you.
No, he's got a 976 wake thing that he... Never mind.
Well, I did that show, and the reason the ratings weren't good, Linda Thornton said the ratings weren't good, it was because Rick put the wrong music on. Rick and I started Waxy in 1975, for crying out loud, and I worked for WAXY for free.
Damn it. And you know, I think Budell is up at LS.
WLS,
Can you believe that?
That son of a bitch got something, and I don't have anything. Isn't that terrible? All right, well, anyhow, I'm doing this because WIOD, you know.
Hey, we're your all-vent station. Lay the spleen on the table and rip that bad boy open.
Let me finish this, okay? All right, let me finish this. I did that Budell show for 6 weeks, and they're saying, Roby, 6-figure salary, the RKO people, you know. Little did they know they were doomed. They were doomed because of cross-billing, and they lost their life. I helped Power 96 lose their license. I mean...
okay, tell us that story. Tell us that story.
Y100 paid me, my Lord, Heftel paid me at Y100 a year and a half not to work for anybody. He gave me money every week if I wouldn't go to work. You don't know about that.
That's a great gig.
Sounds like
Power 96. And about, what's the guy that had the gay thing with the little boys? What's his name?
Tanner.
What? No, not, well, Tanner, but the other one.
There's been so many.
Gary.
Who?
Gary G. Michael.
Oh, G. Michael
really
McKay.
Sweet, he's a really sweet person.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He's a nice person. I rented him a house once, you know, and I said, what is it with these boys? He says, it's Socratic. I said, I'll accept that. He teaches them things. He stole my damn dictionary because they played, Scrabble or something. Anyhow, I was getting to something on this.
You need to write a book about all the bastards in Miami radio over the years. And all the stuff.
You know,
people would probably buy it.
Cox told me about G. Michael McKay. In 1974, I was on Power 96 doing the morning show for the second time. You know, they fired me once, and they hired me back with a ton of more money. And then they fired me because I was too old. And Don Cox, lovely. He's a nice man.
Sportsman's paradise.
Cox called up. He says, Roby, you're being blown. He was over at Y100 after I left it. And he was over at Y100. He says, you're being blown out of your gig by a boy from Maine who wears lipstick.
Oh.
Well, I just had to sit there and think about that. And that was G. Michael, and he came on with this...
he wears lipstick?
Oh, yes. Gay boy.
In public?
I don't know. But finally, he did Jesus Chrysler Plymouth. That was the old...
Jesus Chrysler Plymouth? I like that.
Yeah, he did. Lord, I was living with Marcia, my third wife.
Your former ex.
Teaching sailing, and loved her a lot, and we were in Coconut Grove, and he was doing those silly things about Jesus Chrysler Plymouth.
I don't recall that commercial.
Blew me off. Oh, you're a young girl. This is 30 years. No, how about 15 years ago?
Why wasn't...
What year was 76? Power 96, 74.
Huh. I wasn't living here then, so I don't know too much about it, but
You know,
I find
it's
it very
been great
interesting.
talking to you guys.
Roby?
On this
Roby?
tape. I hope that someday soon we can do a real live broadcast.
That'd be great. We'd love to
Because,
see it.
talking to you guys on this taped thing, just a rehearsal is really super, and it's neat, and sometime we ought to go on the air live.
But it's really cool, yeah, that we managed to make this sound like it was live, this segment right here, when we actually recorded this 3.5 days ago. See,
well, I'm always, I like what you do, and the thing that bothers me is when I go into these studios up here in Orlando, Nickelodeon and all, I do Nickelodeon stuff.
For the TV, Nickelodeon channel?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm just because I'm like staring here looking dumb doesn't mean I didn't understand.
Okay, I got you.
I always
it's all
look this
digital.
way.
There's no tapes going around.
All
Yeah.
optical discs.
No, it makes me crazy. There's no tape. It's all computer.
Mm-hmm.
And they say to me, if you come in here 4 more times, Roby, we won't need you to come back. We have everything that we want from your
they got
voice.
you. You've dropped all the stuff down, and then they can just edit anything they want.
I'm going to stop this right now.
What, this interview?
I was fooling you. All right. I know that we're on live WIOD in Miami. And you know something, guys?
What?
I really am so happy. Because I'm going to tell you, WIOD was my radio station when I first came down there in 1962, and I was 17 years old. And I drove on the property, and the record that was playing was A Taste of Honey.
Wait a minute. This sounds vaguely familiar, Roby.
Yeah, well,
You told us this story already.
I know, but...
We want to hear the story about you getting hit by lightning. At least I do.
All right, here's the deal.
Was this before the long stay in the home? I'll tell you what, we'll talk about that. We've got Roby Young, 30-plus year radio veterans, worked in IOD. He's got a billion stories. There's been aspersions cast about him. He's upset. There's a lot of things he wants to talk about, and we will talk about them here on WIOD. This Night Rhythm continues. Sorry, I had beans tonight.
I'm here.
What's that, Roby?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sending one.
How you doing?
Why don't you get that guy in North Miami to play another jingle? You know?
Roby Young.
That's what made a lot of money.
Roby, we have a call. This is actually the first call in 3.5 weeks. No, I'm kidding. We have a call in Miami.
8-second delay. Now, if I owe them money, you just,
We'll dump it. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm ready to take calls. Roby Young here.
Miami, welcome.
My. Hi, Roby.
Hi.
Look out now. It's Brother Mike in Miami Beach.
What?
It's Brother Mike.
How are you doing?
Fine, Roby. I'm so happy to hear you on Miami Radio again.
Well, why don't I get a job?
I don't know. You really should come down here because I really don't like what's happening with Miami Radio.
Well, call Linda Thornton and say, now you have something to write about.
Who's Linda Thornton?
All right. Goodbye. Sorry, that was B. Mike.
I know. That was Blind Mike. What's
Sightless Mike. It's a kinder, gentler.
You know about Mike?
That was Brother Mike, and it was an image
Oh,
only.
he's a super guy.
Audio image.
He is a jingle. The man is really a recorded. He's on a hard disk somewhere.
That was your
There are
friend.
other people who are calling in to say, Roby Young, you owe me money, or glad to see you back on the air.
I don't know. We should give the numbers though, just in case they don't want. They want to call.
Try it, okay?
In Dade, it's 751-9463. In Broward, it's 524-WIOD.
What is it?
524. Why, you want to call us, Roby?
No, do it again.
524.
Dade County number.
524.
That's Broward.
Oh, 751-9463.
Date is 751.
94. Are you writing this down so you can do the numbers later on?
No, I'm in Ocala. 751 what?
9463.
Is that a toll-free number, 751?
No, that's the Dade number.
That's a Dade number. Oh, the toll-free is 800-944-WIOD.
Well, I just don't know.
So,
I was talking to Gretchen, who owns a store in Mayfair down in Coconut Grove. You know, the Grove has changed. The greening of the Grove and all that stuff. Coconut Grove used to be, with hippies and then different things. So this girl I talked to this afternoon bought a store in Mayfair, and it's really weird. Things are changing.
Yeah, well, it happens. Life has changed.
We have another celebrity.
We have a celebrity caller
here. Another future has-been. Sonny Fox. How are you, Sonny?
You have somebody calling, Roby?
Yeah.
Sonny's on the line.
Sonny Fox here.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. It's Sonny Fox here.
Hey, Sonny, how the hell are you? You're a great DJ.
Well, thanks.
Wait, you said that about me.
I haven't yet.
No, not you.
Roby.
Are you really Sonny Fox?
Yeah, I'm Sonny. I was coming back from a charity thing, a casino night, and I heard you on the air. I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Your voice, I don't know. Neil Rogers plays this thing. What is it? That group up in Indianapolis, Tim and Bob or something, and they had this.
Bob
bit,
and Tom.
Yeah, and they have this bit where it's Casey Kasem, and the guy pretends he's Casey Kasem and goes, and he reads a request, and it comes to one of the lines is, "Dear Flaming Homo." Is that you doing that?
No, it isn't, because I tried the homo thing, but they wouldn't pay union scale.
No, but I mean, it sounds exactly like you. You haven't done anything with those guys up there.
The homo thing.
The homo thing, right?
No, I don't do that. I didn't have that talent. I mean, I tried, and I tried. Nothing happened.
Well, no, in all seriousness, though, it sounds just like your voice. The guy does the.
But are you really Sonny Fox?
Yeah, why?
I admire you, man. I think you're super. Did you know that when I worked for, did you work for Y100?
Yeah, I was at Chief for 3 years. I was at Y100 for 4 years.
Remember Cecil Heftel?
Oh, sure.
All right. Well,
Crazy person.
I worked for Y100 in 1970, I think 2 or 3, before it was on the air, before you got there.
Yeah.
And he paid me like $150 a week not to work. I swear to God, best job I ever had, Sonny Fox. Best job I ever had.
Well, Cecil was a congressman in Hawaii?
Yes, and he owned TVs out there. He's a super guy.
Yeah, he used to sit around when Buzz Bennett worked for him.
But you know what I condemn Buzz Bennett for?
What?
Young girls and lots of drugs.
Well,
you guys should swap numbers and like talk to each other like later on, like after the show's
well, don't worry about it. It's all past.
Well, nobody's listening anyways.
Well, number one, Buzzy was.
If Sonny Fox called up the WIOD, people are listening.
Excuse me,
Sonny, I admire you greatly.
Well, thanks a lot.
I worked for Cecil for a while.
Oh God.
And then I quit and went to W Power 96.
W Power 96.
MYQ.
Yes.
In 70, I don't know, 4.
Well,
went back there.
Buzz Bennett was the best man at my wedding. We're old friends.
Bennett used to love Placidills.
But I just want to
play chess, and he could play chess with Placidills in his body. He is a genius.
Is this a one-way phone call? Hello?
Sonny, go ahead.
I want to ask you something about...
Wait, Roby, you don't have a show anymore. Sonny, go ahead.
I want to know about the time that Roby was at Rick Shaw's roast and had to duck underneath the back of the table. Remember that?
Well, all I know is Lee Abrams is in Dallas putting out 10 formats on a satellite. And
that bastard, he owes me money.
Call him.
You know what he did to me?
What?
No, he didn't do anything.
This is radio. I can't believe. Sonny, we're on Roby Young and Sonny Fox. This doesn't happen.
I just wanted Roby to tell the story about the Rick Shaw roast, and I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
What happened? Is that something that you wanted to talk about?
No, that's cool.
Okay.
So now how do you really feel about Sonny Fox, Roby?
He's a super talent. He's a nice man. And
I used to watch him. I used to watch him when he did that 51. You know, he used to sit back and sit in for when Big Wilson wasn't around.
Well, hell, who didn't do 51? And Big Wilson. I am so upset. You know,
he's dead.
Big died. He's dead. He's my friend. You know, in New York, when I would get ready to do my show on ABC in the daytime, I would be listening to Big on NBC. He started a half hour before me, and I went in there to ABC, and I did the show, and then Big did his NBC thing. We never met until WIOD bought the Kansas City Bombers.
Wow.
In 1970. Are you
Something.
ready? Shall I tell the WIOD story?
Yeah, why not? Well, let's take a call. Shall we take a call?
All right, but remember...
remember the Kansas City Bombers.
Roby Young's on the radio. Okay, go for it.
He is? Where? Hollywood, hello.
Yeah, this is Hollywood.
Hi.
Roby.
Yes?
My name is Tom, and I come from New Jersey. I'm about 45 years old.
Yep.
And you and Bruce Morrow. And
That's
the
a
rest of the
Brucey.
and the rest of the crew on ABC were a big part of my childhood. And mentioning Big Wilson, I remember listening to him up there.
Now, Roby, was that before you were homosexual or after?
You know, that's not really nice.
Oh, I'm kidding. Come on.
People said to me about bisexual. Are you bisexual? I said, if I have to buy it, I will. If I have to buy it, I will.
See, you got to get over that latent thing. Eventually, you're going to become gay. It's just the way it is. Just deal with it.
You know, I mean, if you've got something to offer, I mean, you know.
Well, I personally don't.
Send the films. Oh, you know, that's pretty bad. You know, they do that. You know who else got trapped about gay is a bunch of announcers in Miami. I don't know about New York, but, you know who got trapped in New York?
I think
Clay
people should get trapped
CBS.
for having bad haircuts before they get trapped for being gay.
Yeah. Tom Clay at CBS FM used to come in at 9 o'clock. This is 70-something. And he said, that's my son. It wasn't his son.
Oh.
Oh, Tom Clay, big-time Los Angeles DJ. We hired him.
Who did I kill?
At CBS, we had to hire a bunch of rock and roll people. Well, that's something for the next show. I'll stop now.
Let's take another call, Roby. We're going to go to L.A. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, Los Angeles.
Is that Roby Young?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
How are you?
How are you?
My God, it's Steve Kimball at Tardeo.
You know it is, out here in war-torn Los Angeles.
How in the hell do you know I'm on WIOD?
Well, you know, Good News travels fast, even out to war-torn L.A. And
My God, did you know that Elizabeth Taylor told her husband, Mike Todd, to buy that building you're in?
yes, otherwise I wouldn't have a job.
Darn good thing then.
So how are you? I hear you're on the radio again.
I'm fine as forks here. I'm on WIOD, but how in the hell can you get me in Hollywood, California?
It's work of the devil. Pictures through the air and other things.
But you did, anyway. So did you have a question for Roby, or just wanted to shock
I
him?
just wanted to say hello. We're all dear friends.
Steve,
from,
listen, if I can do this while you're on the air, I would like to have you and Shadid has the head from Jamaica. He paid $1,500 for it to get it out of Jamaica. I want it to go to Frankfurt, Wayne. All right, and I want you to either pay for it or whatever, because I'm tired of losing money in the record business.
Well, you know, actually, vinyl's coming back. Don't fear.
I can't believe we're on WIOD doing this.
Back. I don't know when, but soon it will return.
Can you tell me one thing? Is your illegal television station in Miami, Florida, on Channel 2 broadcasting again, or are you in Hollywood, California?
No, I'm in Hollywood, California. I'm on 98.3 and on the air even as we speak.
You have an FM?
Yes. FM stereo right out here in West L.A.
Don't forget the one in Miami.
And the one in Miami, yes. Our satellite link.
This is weird.
Totally.
This is really weird.
And don't forget, Roby, you owe Sam $20 to get that in.
Why do I feel like this is like Roby Young? This is your life.
Well, all these people across the country seem to think I owe them money.
That's probably because you do, Roby.
Roby, if
Do you know who that last guy was?
The full-tech equalizer, you know, I did ship that out to you, and I didn't get my freight charges.
I know, Steve. I saw it, but damn it, old hell. John Barry wants his 4-track back from this guy in South Miami.
Excuse me?
Too much going on at once, one at a
And did
time.
you know that Mark Thomas was a crackhead at WVCG?
No.
And he got the damn control, the DC 300. He got that. And he was doing crack, and he was an MBA and worked for the Guggenheims.
Bastard.
Annamaria, I told you this was going to be good.
Oh.
Wait, who all is on the line? How many people do we actually
How you doing,
Get
Mitch?
some of this
Good.
off. I'm back here in Ocala.
I think we have at least 12 people on the line all talking at
Can't
once.
believe all
It's
these
all on my
people.
quarter, Mitch.
I didn't get any of that.
I got it all, so you might as well just
So
we
we're
need
going
to
to say
give
goodbye to you in L.A. Thanks for the memory.
Bye, Steve.
Goodbye.
Bye.
He's a character. You know who he came from? Do you know where he came from?
No.
A Criteria. He was the engineer on the, don't you know who just did Layla?
Oh, Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Derek and the
he had-
Dominoes.
Oh, yeah, and Derek and the Night. Steve was a Miami engineer at Criteria and did all those things 15, 20 years ago.
Must have worked with Tom Dowd.
Well, you know,
See, I don't have many names to drop, but that's one.
I would drop some names. Do you want me to drop names, Mitchell?
No.
We have another call for you, though.
The real Blind Mike.
Hi, Roby.
Yes.
Hi, this is the real Brother Mike.
Well, how are you doing?
Fine.
I was very upset in 1967 when I landed a helicopter.
No, that was in the 80s.
Whenever it was, but you almost walked into it, Michael. I've been your friend for years, but don't ever walk into my tail rotor.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was there.
Mine either.
Roby, I have a question to ask you.
Okay.
By the way, you were the first DJ on Y100
Yes, I was.
in '73.
Yes.
Did you know that WQAM went talk a few months ago?
No, I don't.
They went talk back in February.
Somebody bought an AM and an FM. Paxson Broadcasting bought.
Zeta and Wins.
What'd they buy?
WZTA and WINZ.
Well, I'll go there. Oh,
Cool.
you know, this is so silly that Roby Young gets phone calls on WIOD. You know, a viable personality can't get a job.
I'm looking for work
I don't
myself.
have AIDS. What? Go ahead, Mike.
I'm looking for work myself. I sell jewelry and I'm doing very well.
Mike, you know something? I'm going to tell you one thing.
What?
Get a
When I
life.
was in New York, we had a big-time deal with another blind boy, just like you, who owned Ballantine Beer and Colt 45.
Johnny Dark.
And I went over, and he was my friend. He gave me the George Harrison album, All Things Must Pass. I saw him. He has a house, an apartment on Central Park South, CPS, and he was my friend, and WABC put me with him because Ballantine Beer was one of our biggest accounts. He was a nice boy.
But he owes you money.
I don't owe him anything.
Oh.
But I'm going to tell you one thing, Mike.
What is that?
Your staying power of being on the radio, being a blind person on the radio, for all of us, means a little something to me. I think you're sort of special.
Thank you, Roby.
That's it. I'm not going on. I think you're sort of special, but damn it, the next time I go to the Rhodes Brothers Club and I land a helicopter that I'm flying, don't walk into my tail rotor.
I won't.
I love you, Mike.
Okay, we can go to our next caller then. We got other callers for you, Roby.
Pembroke Pines, hello.
I feel like I'm calling some sort of strange 900 party line.
Welcome.
You are.
Roby.
It's just free.
This is a former program director at WIOD, Roby, that you know very well.
Jerry, all you have to do is control me. I won't say tits. I will be a good person. Give me a job. I know that you fired everybody at Joy 107 today.
Now, Roby, I've heard this story before, Roby.
I talked to Gretchen. Jerry, I would work. I would be cool, man. I would be really cool. I will not take any liquor into the station.
Roby, I think you are now, and you have always been an extremely talented personality. And what I want you to do is I want you to tell all these people your Roseanne Cash story.
Well,
and then I will hang up and listen.
And you'll clear the lines for all the rest of our callers.
For all the rest of the callers.
Thanks, Jerry.
Do I have to do this?
Yes.
All right. The reason I have to do this is because Rick Shaw is on Waxy, and I called Rick and I said, Rick, I'd like to do a thing for you. I would like to do you a character voice to help you. And he says, Roby, I can't do anything. I'm just a nothing. I am a disc junkie. You talked to my program director. Now I talked to Jerry Sullivan, who was the program director of NBC, the National Broad Carpet Castration. I'm sorry, the National Broad... You know what it is.
Yeah, we know. So what about Roseanne Cash?
Well, I'll be quite honest with you. In those days, I had hundreds of thousands of dollars a year from Levitt's. I had a boat, sailboat. I had a condominium. I had a house.
So you were going out with Roseanne Cash at the time?
No, I never saw the girl.
Oh.
And I had in fact, I gave, who's the gay guy? What, name a name. Gary. G. Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The guy that, in radio, they all sort of stay together. He says, can I rent a place from you? Okay, fine. And I said, who are these boys?
What does this have to do with Roseanne Cash?
I'll get to it. He says, Socratic. So, point is,
yes.
I never saw Roseanne Cash, but I had the feeling that I would do it because Jerry Sullivan, he's in love with Gretchen, and they have a child, and he's a wonderful person. He's a great talent, but he won't let anyone know. He ran WIOD for a while. Didn't you know that?
We're not.
Is this the part where we actually respond?
We're not totally versed on
no, we don't know anything about anything,
of WIOD.
especially the history of the station.
We know a little bit about it, like it's 66 years old and some of the other things, but we're just...
Phil Costin's still here.
We're new to his...
You ought to let me bring down that tape, the 38th anniversary. My grandmother, in 1925, said Jesse J. is sitting on his yacht, and Jesse is saying, I want to build a radio station. And we built WIOD, the Wonderful Isle of Dreams, and it was washed away by a hurricane in a few months after. Well, I've got great stories about that. But if I can get back to this guy, he ran NBC and he ran WVCG, and oh Lord, we tried to buy WVCG from Ted and Betty Nearhouse for $500,000 and all these things that never were told. I guess you're getting a whole... Am I still on WIOD?
Yes, you're still on.
Are we still on is the question.
Lord knows. Sandy Spitzer, Sandy Tinsley, Marv Tinsley's the Tinsley Sports Network, and Rick Shaw. In those days, Sandy Tinsley and the man who died at WQAM Jack Sandler, were about to buy WVCG as an AM radio station to compete with WQAM. And this has never been out on the radio at all.
And then Roseanne Cash came in.
Well, I don't know why I did that. I swear to God, I shouldn't have done that.
What's that?
I said, mentioned teats.
Yeah, you did. The three-letter word starts with a T, ends with a T, has an I in
I
it.
don't know why I
That's
did
right,
that,
we
but they
dumped
had
you.
to fire me.
We dumped you.
They
That's
had to
okay.
fire me. But,
You said it on our show, too, and we had to dump it.
I have been doing radio programs in Miami, Florida since 1962.
I just want to know what
love to
color
have
the
a job.
sky is in your world.
I would
take a
love to have
caller.
a job.
We have another call for you, Roby.
Miami, hello.
Hello?
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 Roby?
Yes.
Guess who?
I don't know.
It's from Miami.
How are you?
We were together in KAT.
I can't hear you too well. Say more.
We were together in WKAT.
Wow.
Roby?
Yes.
This is Inez.
Oh, my God. It's Inez. How's your daughter?
She has a baby.
Is
Beautiful
she okay?
little baby boy.
Inez, that's good. Psychically, I have said good things for you for the past 20 or 30 years, Inez, haven't I?
Yeah. I said
Yes,
it
my
too.
dear. I gave you the power, didn't I?
Yes.
All right, Inez, I have to go now. I have my
Where are
friends
you
on
now?
the radio.
Where
We're
are you
burning
now?
up time.
Okay.
We got the cue. Let's go to North
all
Miami.
right.
Hello.
Lord, that's Inez.
Hello?
Yeah, North Miami.
Hi, Roby.
Yes, sir.
Got something for you.
Yes, what?
Yeah, I got something for you.
Go,
Listen to this.
go for it.
If I can bring it up here.
It just proves once again, folks, that he is a strange person and has people out there who like to listen.
Yeah, I guess so.
How about if each of those persons got a book and wrote down, Tomachek, a book, Roby Young.
Yeah.
Couldn't it make money?
I guess so. You've got plenty of fans out there.
Couldn't we ask more from WIOD, which is, I think, is lost? Do you want me to tell you about the management of WIOD? I'll do this last thing.
Yeah,
I'll
do.
blow the whole thing off probably, but I will tell you about the 1975 management of WIOD.
Oh, you can't do
and
anything.
The time that
you can't do anything on current management, can you?
No, I don't even know who they are. But I'll do something about the old management 15 years ago and how they blew me off, and that'll be coming out after we do a few commercial messages.
We have no commercials, Roby. Nobody's listening, Roby.
We have no commercials.
Nobody listens to our show no matter who we have on.
Holy
They're all
crap, I don't
Bohannon
do shows
diehard
that
fans.
All right, you want to know? Okay,
well, wait, we'll take a commercial.
take a break at least.
And we're back with Roby Young. Roby,
Yes.
thanks for holding on. Tell us that story about 15 years ago, about WIOD management.
All right, here's the scene. I went back there in 1975, and they had some guys called the Kansas City Bombers. And they were all a bunch of guys from sales and management and everything from Kansas City. Joe Abernathy, all these other guys. We bought Joe a boat. He was not with his wife, and he found every.
I slept with him.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. I mean, that's the type of thing that happened.
I didn't get no damn boat.
And George Jenny and everybody had money and everything like that, but they left one thing in WIOD named Jim Strawn. He was the controller. We spent $500,000. That's called $500,000.
Uh-huh.
At the Great Blue Monster, Doral. Yep, you got it. My ex-wife was there. We went down. I mean, she had some cocaine. She says, try this. That was the old, 15 years ago. Cocaine was cool. You don't snort cocaine. You're in the advertising business. Snort that damn shit up. No.
So now
that sounds so good.
Oh, Roby.
Dump you again. Fort Lauderdale, hello.
We have another call for you, though.
Roby?
Yes.
Don't buy a house.
Oh, okay.
What?
He said, we love you.
No, did you cancel something?
Yeah. First of all, we dumped you.
I was wrong because I talked about cocaine.
And
damn it, it was part of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I have nothing to do with it, but I've seen it. I haven't seen it in 15 years. Roll the tape.
What tape?
Get the people on the phone.
Okay, well, we just hung up on everybody but you. I wonder who's next. Roby, why don't you, come down here and start shooting tapes out?
All I need is a place to stay.
Oh, you mean live, you mean?
I don't have any money. I'm doing, well, I'll tell you what I'm doing.
You're a bitter man, Roby.
What?
You need to, forget the past, forget all that crap, and, move on and do something.
You said crap on WIOD.
Yeah, and you know what you said I had to dump? The counterpart that's considered profanity.
Let's go to the phones.
We don't have any callers, Roby. Okay, let's take a call. Miami, hello.
Hello, Roby?
Yep.
I've been listening to you for 1 hour. And, hello, are we on the air?
Yeah.
That's just me again, Roby, sorry.
Go to the next one.
Okay. Dade. See, there's our callers, Roby.
Hello?
Yeah. Roby?
This is Larry King.
You were with Larry the night that
Roby.
JFK got shot, right?
I'm going to go back to that, but WIOD used to be sacrosanct. I mean, when I went to WIOD, the Wonderful Isle of Dreams, which was made by my grandmother's friend Jessie J, and built the damn radio station. That was newspapers used to be good. Mitchell, newspapers used to be sacrosanct. So did radio stations. And when we had WIOD, even 30 years ago, WIOD had people in the courthouse. We had a courthouse line, man.
52.
We had a whole thing. We had reporters. And WIOD was very important. Sometimes it would say things that people didn't know.
Yeah.
And I was a 19-year-old boy, and I was on we're breaking. All right.
Well, that's it for you. We gave you 1 hour, and that's Roby Young.
And thank you for joining us so much, Roby. I hope that things work out for you.
Yeah, and keep in touch and shoot some tapes out, and maybe we'll see you back down here. That's Roby Young, radio veteran, 30 years back, beginning of WIOD. We have to go. Thanks, Roby Young. We will be back after Mutual News.
Okay, so my career took off a couple years ago when Johnny Carson let me sub on The Tonight Show. Now I'm taking over, and I gotta tell you, I'm having a gas. But frankly, I'm getting tired of kissing Johnny's... What? I was gonna say but. Anyway, May 22nd, it'll be my show, and I can show Johnny the door. Then I'll say, go. Go, Johnny. Just go. Go, Johnny. Would you go?
Not yet, Dorito breath.
Johnny, be gone.
I'm gonna miss this. No more Ed McMahon selling Alpo to you.
Yeah, no more Joan Embry and her lousy zoo.
No more Karnak or Stump the Band.
And nobody playing Dixie on a frying pan. You know, I'm even gonna toss out your corny, worn-out theme, because I'll tell you, Johnny, Branford Marcellus is making a scene, so just go, okay, Johnny? Go, Johnny, go. Just go.
I'm packing my desk, Great Lantern Jaw.
Oh, so you are leaving. Well, here's your hat. What's your hurry? Watch the door on your way out there, Johnny.
Picture, if you will, the former king of late-night TV. No longer needed, out of the loop. He finds himself in the retirement zone.
Did I ever tell you that I used to talk to big celebrities like Tiny Tim and Joan Embry?
Yeah. Hey, eat your applesauce, huh, Pops? The early bird specials end at 4:30.
Oh, Ed.
Yes, sir.
Ed, remember me?
Get lost, Gramps. You're too old for Star Search.
May a diseased yak soil your miracle here.
Caught in a twisted world where the job ends, but the enemas don't.
Good one, sir.
It's the inevitable road we all travel. There's an envelope up ahead.
And the answer is an old fart parking a Dodge Dart at Kmart.
It's the retirement zone.